You cannot just take words and give them a new vague meaning, come up with some magical criteria, and expect everyone to be on board. In today's program, we're here to discuss yet another phenomenon happening within the K-pop space. K-pop stands desperately trying to rank vocalists instead of doing homework. Mysterious terms flying around, creating chaos and confusion. Words in the comments, sometimes under my own videos.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Let's talk. Even if not a priority, singing is an inherent part of K-pop. While more recently not as important as dancing, stage presence, overall image, vocal is still an area that K-pop fans pay attention to and care about to a varying degree. Idols are of course multitaskers, dancers, rappers, models, producers, and more, but it won't change the fact that vocalist is still somewhere in the job description. Naturally, regardless of the general vocal standard of K-pop, not every idol is an equally skilled vocalist. The industry has its shining stars and many far less impressive vocalists. You cannot measure talent, but skill can be analyzed. And it is valid to analyze singers by their vocal technique and skill set. No wonder that many of fans are interested in those kinds of discussions and breakdowns. Comparing vocalists by their skill is also valid. Comparison is a tool used for analysis that is often necessary for commentary. Even though analysis may have different intentions behind it, comparison itself doesn't have morality. So no, comparing the vocals of K-pop idols isn't disrespectful to the idols, and so is not ranking idols by their vocal skills. Of course, some K-pop stans aren't too fond of rankings because they challenge their personal feelings towards their faves, which often exceeds their maturity levels of reaction. Trust me, I know. It is totally fine, however, that fans want to see K-pop vocalists analyzed, compared, and ranked. But how do we do that? Oh, I bet you know where I'm going with this. The concept of vocal tiers is very popular among K-pop stans. These tiers go from F to S and have descriptions like underdeveloped, weak, average, low proficient, high proficient, low average, above average. I'm trying to be serious. One time I remember I said in a video that Jisoo was a quite weak vocalist on her own, and someone commented, "Stop lying, Jisoo is not a weak vocalist because she's not E tier. She's just underdeveloped, she's F tier." Some crazy semantics, I know. You cannot just take words and give them a new vague meaning, come up with some magical criteria, and expect everyone to be on board. So what's the criteria for those vocal tiers, you ask? To find out, let's go back almost a decade to 2014 and the creation of Kpop Vocal Analysis, a blog created for analyzing K-pop vocalists. You can find many vocal analyses there, written over the years. These vocal profiles are especially interesting, as all of them contain a now popular term, basically keywords for K-pop vocal community. Of course, I'm talking about supported range. Basically, the supported range would be the main aspect to evaluate and rank singers on. The bigger, the wider the supported range, the better the vocalists and the higher ranking they would get. So you may be wondering, what the hell is supported range? And to that I say, good question, but that's a bit complicated. In the context it's been introduced on this blog, it would generally mean the range where a vocalist can perform with optimal breath support, good larynx position, vocal cords connection, muscle engagement, and no tension, or little to no tension, I guess. Something among these lines. A very wide, kind of an umbrella term describing a good, healthy vocal technique. According to that, this would be a supported note, and this would be strained unsupported. So, support is a commonly used term among professionals who teach singing. However, I have never heard any professional use it in a way it's been used on KVA blog. because support is usually referred to as breath support and/or diaphragm engagement while producing a sound.
If I'm going to sing a big phrase, you're going to see my belly come out as I fill my lungs. And then when I start singing the phrase, you're going to see my belly button snatch in towards my spine. That's the support, the squeezing. So if I go, and do you see it snatching inwards? That's what support is.
So it's really quite confusing. One of my personal favorite online vocal coaches reacted to a strain versus support video, a popular format in the K-pop vocal side of YouTube and now TikTok as well. And some really struggled to understand the concept of support that was applied in the video he was reacting to. Take a look.
I wouldn't label these support. I kind of don't love saying support versus strain because, again, I don't believe that they are mutually exclusive, that you can only have one. I think that you can have both, and it's just the levels of support that you have, because I look at support like it's the relationship between air and muscle. And if the relationship between air and muscle is really good, then it creates a really nice, healthy buzz that can then go get amplified. I think that the difference between these guys isn't really that some of them aren't supporting, because it doesn't matter how much you change this if you're this tight.
On the KVA blog, I couldn't find a clear definition of a supported range, but I was able to find a definition of support, which however falls in line with the general, I'd say conventional definition of support used in vocal pedagogy. Again, it's confusing. So no, the term supported range isn't commonly used by vocal coaches. It's just not. And feel free to challenge me on that. Back to Kpop Vocal Analysis. I'd like to briefly talk about the main admin of the blog, whose username is admin3, but his name is Mateus Diaz. I don't have all the facts, but I want to say that he absolutely has credentials, as he's not only been taking vocal lessons for years apparently, but also graduated from more than one music school. And he's also been actively vocal coaching. So Mateus is musically educated. I am not here to doubt that or discredit him. In my opinion, he's also a good vocalist himself, and the amount of work he put into the blog is admirable. It should be mentioned that in 2014, when the blog was created and the concept of supported range got introduced, Mateus was only 22 years old at that time. I don't think that his take on support and supported range is blatantly wrong. However, I am comfortable saying it's rather unconventional, if not controversial, and can be argued as inaccurate and misleading. Another problem with the KVA criteria is that the creator of the system isn't really that active anymore, at least online. So I'm not sure if it's possible for him to clear any confusion or provide more useful information on the concept of supported range, because I won't sit here and tell you that it doesn't make sense at all. I definitely feel like I kind of get what Mateus meant, but more context and explanation would be needed. Also, what you need to know is that in 2018, KVA stopped ranking vocalists altogether, and you cannot find the original ranking system on the blog anymore. And it's where we need to come back to K-pop Stance. K-pop Stance, however, took the KVA ranking system and ran with it, because it seemed like a pretty simple yet effective system to evaluate vocalists. And now, welcome to the circus. When you take an already controversial, questionable system, make it your Bible basically, and add a bunch of new crap to it, all while not only not having vocal knowledge, experience training, or much critical thinking, it all becomes a hot mess. Because things have deviated from Kpop Vocal Analysis and evolved over time. Now we also have relaxed ranges, shallow supported ranges, ringing ranges. It is hard to keep up, and it all just crumbles under its own weight. Why don't I agree nor use the supported range / K-pop, TikTok, YouTube vocal ranking system? There are three main reasons. First, it's based on an unclear, shaky and controversial premise that, in my opinion, shouldn't become gospel for vocal analysis. Second, it painfully oversimplifies the art of singing. Vocal technique is complex and nuanced. When you try to make it fit a rigid concept like the supported range that is being used online by K-pop stans, that's a recipe for disaster. Third, the system and its rules can be easily abused by K-pop stans who just desperately want to keep on adding new notes to their faves' supported ranges, which creates more confusion and promotes fan wars, all in the name of some letters with pluses and minuses. There was one specific fandom of a 4th generation girl group who, in my opinion and experience, is especially guilty of that. I will not tell you which one, but who knows, maybe you'll be able to guess. Hey baby, welcome to my world. Coming to the conclusion, K-pop idols are vocalists. Vocal analysis can be fun and interesting, and there is nothing inherently disrespectful or offensive about comparing vocal skills. The term support is commonly used by voice professionals. However, not in a way it's been introduced on the Kpop Vocal Analysis blog. The creator of the blog no longer supports his previous ranking system and is doing his own thing in South Korea, I believe. Vocal technique is a complex matter, and it would be probably best if it was analyzed with care and nuance and to the best of one's individual capabilities. Having a discussion on something is never wrong. That's it. That's the essay. That's what I wanted to say. Let me know, guys, what you think about all of this. I know it's a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you. See you in my next one. For now, bye guys.